You know that moment. You're lying next to someone you love. The room is quiet. Their body is right there. Their shoulder is almost touching yours. And somehow you have never felt farther away. Maybe it happened after a stupid little argument, about a text, about dishes, about the tone in their voice. But now the air feels heavy, and neither of you knows how to cross the distance. You look at them and think, how did we get here? Not in the dramatic movie ending way, in the slow way, the real way. And inside your head, it sounds like this. Why does this keep happening? Why do I need so much? Why do they shut down like that? Why do I panic when they pull away? Why do I pull away when things get too real? Am I the problem? Here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't love the way you love because you're too much, too distant, too needy, or too hard to reach. You love the way you love because your nervous system learned what closeness was supposed to feel like a long time ago. So no, you're not failing at love, and this is not automatically a sign that you chose the wrong person. Every couple that has ever truly tried to love each other has stood in some version of this exact place. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the 4 attachment styles, how they shape your patterns in love, why you keep getting pulled into the same cycles, and what it actually looks like to become more secure in the way you love. Let's get into it. The mindset reframe. Most couples believe relationship problems are about compatibility, communication skills, or loving each other the right way. But the real truth is deeper than that. It's about safety. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can even catch up, and yours is doing the same thing to them. That matters more than most people realize. Because when safety leaves a relationship, love doesn't always disappear. It goes underground. It hides beneath the surface. It comes out sideways as criticism, silence, clinginess, defensiveness, control, withdrawal, and all the unspoken patterns that make two people feel alone while sitting 3 feet apart. Most couples think one person is too emotional and the other is too unavailable. But here's what nobody explains. Very often, you're not watching a bad person and a good person. You're watching 2 protection strategies collide. The anxious partner reaches for more closeness because distance feels like danger.
The avoidant partner reaches for more space because intensity feels like danger. And both of them, honestly, are usually trying to protect the same thing: connection. That's why trying harder doesn't always help. Not more talking, not better wording, not one more late-night relationship summit. Because if the emotional tone still feels unsafe, the body hears threat, no matter how calm the words sound. Attachment styles explain the pattern beneath the pattern. They help you see why one person chases, one person shuts down, one person wants love and fears it at the same time, and why secure love feels so different from what many people were taught to call chemistry. And once you can see the pattern, you stop personalizing everything. That's when real repair starts. 1. Your love is not random. Most couples think they're just reacting to what's happening right now. A missed text, a cold tone, a delayed reply, a partner needing space. But most people in relationships are not only reacting to the present moment. They're reacting to what that moment means inside their body. That's the deeper truth. Attachment is not just a dating label. It's the emotional blueprint your nervous system built around closeness, distance, comfort, and fear. It's the invisible story beneath the surface that says, when I need someone, what happens next? That story becomes patterns. Those patterns become cycles. And those cycles start to feel like personality when they're really protection. Here's a real example. The disconnecting version sounds like this. You didn't text me back for 3 hours. Clearly, I don't matter. And the other person says, I was busy. Why are you making this a thing again? The connecting version sounds like this. When I didn't hear from you, I felt myself spiraling. I know that's my pattern, but I want to tell you what was happening in me. And the other person says, thank you for telling me. I'm here. I wasn't leaving. That shift matters. Because now you're not fighting about the text, you're talking about the fear. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. 2. Secure attachment feels calm, not boring. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples say they want peace, but when peace finally shows up, it can feel unfamiliar. And what feels unfamiliar can feel suspicious. That's why secure attachment gets misunderstood. Secure love is not obsession, not constant reassurance, not mind reading, not never fighting. It's two people whose nervous systems are not always bracing for impact. It's presence, it's repair, it's emotional availability. It's the kind of connection where you can tell the truth without feeling like the relationship will collapse. Most people in relationships are used to intensity being confused with intimacy. But secure attachment feels different. You don't have to perform for it. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to disappear inside it. You can be close and still be yourself. You can need and not feel ashamed. You can breathe, bro. That's not boring. That's safety. Watch how it sounds in real life. The disconnecting version. Why do you need so much reassurance? I don't know, maybe because you act like I'm annoying every time I ask for anything. The secure version. I can hear that you need reassurance right now. Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm here. Let's talk about what got activated. And somewhere inside, her brain is quietly registering, I don't have to fight to be held here. That's not a small moment. That's a nervous system learning love can be real without being chaotic. That's the shift that turns a relationship from something you survive into something you can finally rest inside. 3. Anxious attachment says, please don't leave me alone in this. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples look at anxious attachment and only see the behavior. The double text, the overthinking, the need for reassurance, the panic after a conflict. But most people in relationships miss what's actually happening underneath. The deeper truth is that anxious attachment is not being too much. It's what happens when closeness feels uncertain and your nervous system learns to scan constantly for drift. So you become hyper-aware, hyper-vigilant, emotionally loud sometimes. Not because you want drama, but because inconsistency hurts, and you're trying to prevent abandonment before it happens. The anxious partner is often asking one question over and over in different forms. Are we okay? And if that question goes unanswered, everything escalates. A delayed response becomes rejection. A tired tone becomes disinterest. A need for space becomes, I knew it. I'm too much. They're leaving. Here's how that plays out. The disconnecting version. Why are you being weird? Just tell me if you're over this. And the other person says, I can't do this right now. Then pulls away even more. The connecting version. I can feel myself getting anxious, and the story in my head is that you're pulling away. And the partner says, I'm overwhelmed, but I'm not going anywhere. I need 30 minutes, and then I want to come back. That changes everything. Because anxious attachment doesn't just need words, it needs consistency. It needs follow-through. It needs a partner whose presence says, you don't have to chase me to keep me. And when that happens, you stop feeling like love is always one missed moment away from disappearing. 4. Avoidant attachment says, I need space before I disappear inside this. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most couples see avoidant attachment as coldness, distance, indifference, a lack of depth. But most people in relationships are reading withdrawal as lack of care when, a lot of the time, it's actually overwhelm. That's the deeper emotional truth. Avoidant attachment often forms when depending on others didn't feel safe, reliable, or welcome. So the nervous system learns a different rule. Need less, reveal less, rely less. Independence becomes identity. Space becomes control. And when emotions run high, shutting down feels safer than staying open. So when conflict happens, the avoidant partner may not be thinking, I don't care. They may be thinking, this is too much. I can't breathe. If I say the wrong thing, it gets worse. If I stay, I'll get swallowed. That's why criticism hits so hard. Even calm criticism can land like rejection. The body hears danger. The smoke detector goes off. And what looks like stonewalling is often someone who has been so flooded for so long that silence feels like the only protection they have left. Here's the contrast. The disconnecting version? We need to talk right now. I don't want to do this. See, you never care. And then he shuts down even harder. The connecting version. I can tell you're getting overwhelmed. I want to talk about this, but not in a way that makes you go numb. And he says, thank you. I need a minute, but I do want to come back. And something in him is saying, maybe closeness doesn't have to cost me myself. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. 5. Fearful avoidant attachment says, come here. No, not that close. But here's what nobody explains. Most couples get completely confused by this style because it sends mixed signals. One minute there's deep longing, the next minute there's distance, suspicion, shutdown, or sabotage. Most people in relationships call this inconsistency. But beneath the surface, it's usually conflict inside the same person. Fearful avoidant attachment wants connection and fears it at the exact same time. Love feels like water when you're dying of thirst, and also like fire. The longing is real. The fear is real. The push-pull is real. This person may crave intimacy, open up fast, then panic when it becomes emotionally real. They may say, "I want closeness," while their body is bracing for betrayal. This is not manipulation by default, not games, not immaturity, not someone who just loves chaos. It's often a nervous system carrying both the hunger for attachment and the memory that attachment can hurt. Listen to the difference. The disconnecting version. "I miss you. Why do I feel like you don't care?" Partner moves closer. Then suddenly, "I don't know if I can do this. This is too much." The connecting version. "I want to be close to you, and I can also feel myself getting scared now that we're here." And the partner says, "Thank you for saying that. We can go slow. I'm with you." What's moving through her is, "I forgot how powerful it feels when someone doesn't punish my fear." And when you do that, the relationship stops feeling like a trap and starts feeling like a place where scared parts can finally exhale. 6. You usually fall for what feels familiar, not what feels safe. Here's the part that stings a little. Most couples don't choose each other from pure clarity. Most people in relationships are drawn to what feels familiar in the body, even when that familiarity keeps recreating pain. That's why anxious people often feel magnetized to avoidant people, and avoidant people often feel pulled toward anxious people. One is longing for more closeness. One is guarding against too much closeness. One pursues, one withdraws. And the cycle keeps feeding itself because each person's pattern makes perfect sense to the other person's wound. It's not destiny. It's not soulmates. It's not proof you're meant to suffer together. It's just two nervous systems doing what they learned to do. The anxious partner thinks, "If I can finally get this person to stay, maybe I'll feel chosen." The avoidant partner thinks, "If I can keep a little distance, maybe I can stay without getting consumed." And both people feel misunderstood. Look at how small moments build the cycle. The disconnecting version. "Why are you being distant?" "I'm not distant, you're just needy." Then she feels abandoned. He feels controlled. They both get more withdrawn in different ways. The connecting version. "When you pull back, my pattern tells me I'm losing you. When you come closer fast, my pattern tells me I'm losing myself." Okay, so it's not you versus me, it's the cycle. That sentence changes the whole room. Because now the enemy is not your partner. It's the old pattern running both of you. And that's the beginning of turning toward each other instead of reenacting the same pain in different clothes. 7. Earned security is the way you rewrite the story. And here's what changes everything. Most couples think secure attachment is something you either got in childhood or you didn't. But the real truth is more hopeful than that. You can become more secure. Slowly, intentionally. Through awareness, repair, and choosing different patterns on purpose. Earned security is not becoming less needy, not becoming colder, not finding the perfect emotionally fluent partner who never triggers you. It's becoming the kind of person who can notice what gets activated, name it without shame, and stay in connection without abandoning yourself or punishing the other person. This isn't a communication hack. This is an identity shift. This is what emotionally mature love starts to look like. You learn to pause before you protest. You learn to stay before you shut down. You learn that repair matters more than perfection. You learn to say, "This is old pain showing up in a current moment." And honestly, that sentence alone can save years of unnecessary suffering. Here's the real-life contrast. The disconnecting version. You always do this. Well, you always do this. And now, nobody is seen. Nobody is safe. Nobody is home. The connecting version. I'm activated right now, and I want to talk in a way that protects the connection. I'm activated too, but I'm willing to stay with you. That's enough. Let's slow this down. And her nervous system hears, I don't have to earn love by performing. And his nervous system hears, I don't have to disappear to stay safe. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. So if you've been asking yourself, why do I love the way that I love? This is your answer. Because your attachment style shaped how closeness, conflict, safety, and longing got wired inside you. But it does not have to be your life sentence. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to become more aware, more honest, more emotionally available, more capable of staying present when old patterns try to pull you into old cycles again. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop treating every hard moment like proof the relationship is broken. You start seeing beneath the surface. You start bringing safety where there used to be fear. And your partner will feel that difference before you even finish explaining it. These aren't just tips for a better relationship. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. If this gave language to something you've been feeling for a long time, stay with me. Because this is the work that changes everything. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you become safe enough to be fully known and brave enough to love without hiding.